wouldn't let me in the live stream that I scheduled. It's not showing on my schedule. So I'll wait for you guys to come on and join me. I want to apologize. But yeah, I scheduled the live stream, but it did not let me in. I don't understand. So I'll wait for you guys to come on. Thank y'all for joining me. Yeah, there's a glitch. I scheduled the live stream, but they won't let me in. Hey, Retard 2019, thanks for joining me. There was a mix-up, and what happened was I scheduled the live stream, but it didn't let me in. What's up, Derek? Haitian Gunman, I see you, magnificent hustler. Today is going to be a question and answer, because remember, this is your live stream, and I just want to catch up on a lot of you guys' questions and answers, because a lot of times I miss a lot of them. Hey, NG Tour. Sabu, what's up, Vince? Where are you now? Are you still checking in on the 15th? But I had a title was called, Can I Eat the Ice in the Restaurants in the Philippines? And of course, it's going to be a question and answer session. I used that because that was a great question. And one of the guys gave me, so I wanted to kind of lead off with that. But I want to welcome the NTZ crew. And what's up, John? NJ Tour Sabu, what's up, buddy? Yes, John. He's, remember, the tour guide and bodyguard. He's here, and he's actually entertaining some of my subscribers. What's up, Rick Davidson? Tim Carter says, hey, Calvin, I'm joining more often. Thank you, brother. He said, I heard no. But yeah, shout out to the NTZ crew. Shout out to any new people who are watching for the first time. Anybody catching this on replay, and also my old heads. I see all of y'all on here, man. I'm grateful for that. Sniper, the Viper, Action Jackson. They said, hey, Calvin, did you get married in Cebu? If so, what are the procedures you have to go through to get married? I didn't, Action Jackson. I actually was married in America. I did the K1 visa. What's up, John Gomez? Yeah, I did the K1 visa. And when I talk to you guys, I'm not talking to you from some place of authority. And I'm going to talk about that today, because I've only been here a little bit over 4 years consecutively, on and off almost 14 years. And believe it or not, on one of my next videos, I'm going to talk about a lot of the information that's getting put out here by foreigners. We're on training wheels, guys. You got your Bud Browns and different people like that. But the most of us haven't been over here consecutively for 5 years, let alone 10. So that's something that I want to bring up. So whenever I give you a suggestion, it's based on my experience. I would say do the K1, because it gives you more time. You're going to get her over to America quicker. There's going to be some more requirements, but you're going to get her there quicker. You're going to be able to see for 90 days what you got and how she acts. What's up, Quintessential One? The peso is 54.48, which, look, guys, don't complain about that. But the first question was, can I eat ice in a restaurant? Depending on what restaurant. Okay, Jollibee serves, probably tons of ice to the public every single day. I've never had a problem with the ice in Jollibee. But as you come to these other little local establishments, you may want to be careful, okay? But Jollibee and all these fast food restaurants, I don't have any problems. Okay, a friend of mine, he did get food poisoning, so he couldn't trace it back to anything. So he said, I'm not going to eat any ice at these restaurants. And whenever I eat with him, he always requests that he be given his drinks with no ice. But I've never had a problem. I've never gotten sick over here. But, you know, it's hit and miss, guys. You got to use your common sense when you come over here. If you don't feel comfortable eating something or eating somewhere, don't do it. I mean, really. Excuse me. Jan says, can you buy fish from a market or fisherman and then take it to any restaurant and pay them to cook it for you? Well, there's some places like that. If you go to the Moncton Shrine and the Lapu Lapu Shrine, Moncton Shrine in Lapu Lapu, you can pick out your fish and your seafoods, and then they'll cook it for you. They charge you $900 to cook it for you. But I doubt if you could bring it in a restaurant. Paul says, Brother Calvin, I accept you as a Filipino because you're black, brown skinned as most of the Pinoys. Yeah, you're my brothers, man. Hey, thanks, John. NJ2 Cebu says, your vlog, Sir Calvin, is a big help for the foreigners. Thank you, John. And you know I try my best, man. You know, and when I trusted you, that's why, you know, when I did that interview, man, you know the city, you know the country a whole lot better than me. And you're not afraid to talk about stuff that a lot of these Filipino vloggers are afraid to talk about. I'm sorry. Moneymaker says, hello, Calvin, new subscriber here. Welcome. He said, great information you have here. I just wanted to know why people say not to date a Filipino woman who dated a foreigner before. Just meet one who has not, I guess is what you're saying. Well, probably because I'm not going to label them all. But Filipinos love hard, and trust me, we take them through the ringer. Most of us do. And when it doesn't work out, she's very disappointed. And you're going to pay for whatever he did or didn't do. She's not going to appreciate anything that you do unless he was just piss poor, a piss poor man. You're going to take her to Boracay. She's already been. Okay, but remember, I'm not picking on them because they're the same way, Moneymaker. They don't really want a foreigner who's been with a Filipino before, but the opportunity is so great they can't pass it up. But, you know, we just look at each other as damaged goods. That's the way we look at it, and I'm not stepping on anybody's foot. He asked me the question, and I told him. Dana Mills says, hello, Cal. Who you got in the Super Bowl? The Eagles, even though, you know, I'm not an Eagle fan. I just like the underdog. And, I don't care what anybody says. The Eagles should be the underdog, okay? Because, you know, of that Patrick Mahomes. He's starting to be like, what's the guy for San Francisco? Joe Montana and all those guys, Brady. You know, they just win too much, man. You're like, share that, share the love, man. Let somebody else get that title. You know, you can't win it all the time. And I don't want to offend any of my Kansas City Chiefs fans, because I know Danny from Road to the Philippines may be on here. Patrick Glenn says, he said, do you think it's wise to rent because if you have any medical condition, it's easier to get back to the U.S.? I'm on the fence about buying a property or condo or renting. Yeah, it depends on your situation, Patrick. You know, if you don't have any skins in the game, you're not married, you don't have children here, I would say rent. But it gets kind of, it's a gray area, man, when you got skins in the game. I would just say don't go all in. You can build a nice house over here, guys, without breaking the bank. Now, this Retired 2019, man, it's like you're reading my mind. You guys think I'm joking. This question that he's asking. He said, Calvin, How much do you think a single man needs monthly to live comfortably? Okay, I'm just going to go by the Department of Tourism over here just to give you, and this is a tourist. They said, because the question was, how much money will I need on my vacation? According to Statista, the average stay in the Philippines is about 11 days. And the average daily expenditure is about 6.8 thousand pesos. So for that 11 days, they're saying you need 71,000 pesos. And remember, that's just when you're on vacation. And these are the high rollers and then the backpackers. Okay. But I would say to live comfortably, really, I mean, if you're going to be single, retired 2019, I'm not talking about single and you got 2 or 3 women on the side, you're dating and all that, because you got to spend the money whenever you're with them. I'm going to say 1,500 at a minimum, because inflation is skyrocketed over here. And that's the only reason I say it. Do people do it? Absolutely. They do it a whole lot less. But you said comfortably. I would start out at 1,500 because you're going to have, now this is net. I'm not talking about your pension is 1,500 and then you got a car note, credit cards you're paying on over there, child support, alimony. I'm talking about if you got 1,500 net over here, retired 2019. And see, that's a good question because, look, guys, this expat life overseas, especially in the Philippines, it's not a theory, man. You got to live it. And one of my upcoming videos is we don't give enough thought to our relocation over here. We totally disrespect the Philippines. Okay, we act like all we got to do is get on a plane. Those days are over, man. Prices are up. You know, attitudes are different. You got to put some thought into this. And because there's a guy here, he's been here almost a year, I think next month. And he hasn't met any expats. I mean, he's depressed. You know, we didn't really think it all the way through. And I just think that we need to give the Philippines more respect. And I think that comes from Western supremacy. We think because we come from these advanced nations that all we got to do is just show up here, guys. I got news for you. You got to wear your big boy pants over here. But that's a good question, retired 2019. It's really one that I can't answer, but I did want to give you an answer. What's up, Cedric? Vince Lawson said, yeah, I'll be there on the 15th after taking the to-go. It's my new form of travel. Absolutely. The cabin is perfect, and after being on the water for a few days, it saved me from spending money every day. See, that's a great point you made. I never even thought about it like that. But it's my mode of transportation. That's why I did the vlog on ferries. Guys, listen. I know a lot of people don't like to listen to vlogs like that. You want to be entertained, man, but this is real life stuff that you're going to have to deal with over here in the Philippines. Okay, you got them at one point, you got to ride them ferries. So I just wanted to let you know which ones to ride. It's a bunch of them. I gave you the most popular ones, the ones that are in the Visayas region. There's what's that one, John, called? How do you pronounce that? Coquilin or Coquilin or something. That's a good one too. They've got big ships and they're safe. But that's a great point, Vince, because when you're out there coming from Manila, you know, it's going to be like 2 days to, 2 days from Dumaguete. That's money you're not going to spend. It's money you're going to have in your pocket. And it's more affordable than flying. It slows you down, man. We don't always have to be flying like that. W Secret Success encountered a number of people on the other live stream. Hey, Michael Beach Your Life, can you go over there and tell them to come over here? There was a glitch, guys. And what happened was they wouldn't let me in my own live. I was going to have to be just like you guys. So I went ahead and set up a regular one. What's up, my big fat Filipino life? Thanks for that shout out on your video. I subscribe to your channel because you got a great personality. And just like one of the comments said, you're natural for this. And, you know, I believe eventually you're going to be one of those big vloggers that you talk about and that you admire. But remember, a lot of us, man, we haven't even been over 5 years. We're on training wheels, guys. We're giving you our experience. You know, there's very few people like Bud Brown that I know. I met Bud Brown. He's real humble, but there's very few people. I know my Nifty, my ex next door neighbor in Margaritaville, he's been here, Lord. He's got a special visa. I think he's been here, man, really like 30 years or something. Okay. But it's very few people I know like that. And I'm going to do a poll. Every time I see a foreigner, if I see you out there, guys, don't get frustrated. And I'm not in your business. I'm just going to ask you, hey, how long have you been here? Boots on the ground, not leaving and coming. Gary T says, greetings from San Francisco. Is there homeowners insurance in the Philippines? Yes. If so, as a former adjuster, how do you compare the coverage over there versus the coverage in the States? Well, it's because, okay, the coverage in the States is mandatory. Gary, as you know, I'm an insurance agent because the bank is financing your house. They require it. You got to have it. Over here, people are building their own houses, and a lot of people don't have it. Just as they built their house on the Filipino mortgage, they got the Filipino homeowners insurance. If something goes wrong, they're just going to rebuild it themselves. But they have it over here. Hey, RC says, hello, we were at the other live stream. Hey, I'm sorry, guys, but that's what happened. And they wouldn't let me in my own live stream. I was going to have to be a participant. It's never done that before, but this is my first live stream on YouTube in a while. I like it on YouTube. TJ Johnson said, that took a while to get this second chat to show up on YouTube for me. I'm sorry, brother. Dana Milton said, Calvin, I didn't take into account the tricks and they cut significantly, the tranks, and they cut significantly into my budget while I was there on this last trip. That's a great point. Guys, budget transportation, okay? Because you're going to have to get around some kind of way when you're over here on vacation or as an expat. One is, can I open a bank account? This is a iffy subject right here, okay? Now, I was able to do it, and I didn't have any problems. What's up, Kamal? I was on the other live. Glad I refreshed. Okay, and the only reason, because John told me, he said, go over to PNB Bank, and, you know, they'll let you open up one, because some banks, man, they'll look at that ACR card, and if you got tourists on there, they won't let you open up an account. I think it depends on what bank and what city, because at first, Franz, my buddy Franz over here, he couldn't get one. He's been able to get one now, but before he had a damnedest time getting one, and you got to realize, you see why they're hard and they're strict like that, because, you know, it's all about money laundering. And if a tourist can just come over here and open up an account, man, they'd be opening up a can of worms, really. So you at least have to have those 3 forms of ID before they'll even look at you. Your ACR card, which you can apply for that after being in the country 59 consecutive days. They're going to do it automatically for you. The immigration is. Then you have to have your state ID or your state license and your passport. Okay, if you got a pension, they're going to want to know where your money's coming from. If you're in the United States, you got to fill out a W-9 form. It took them about a week, man. I mean, they were on my case, calling me every day. Where your money coming from? Do you have a pension? I said, ma'am, I already told you I don't have a pension. And finally, they let me go. W Secrets to Success. Thanks for that super chat. He said, Cal, remember you can't stop the rain from falling even with an umbrella. Yeah, you're right. And I can't lead a horse to water. I can lead a horse to water and I can't make them drink. What's up, Habit 711? Jan Marvin says, are there any condos for sale on the nice islands such as Palawan near the beach? Or are they only in big cities? I'm pretty sure they're building some, but I've never been to Palawan. Action Jackson says, I'm a minimalist and want to live a minimalist lifestyle in the Philippines. Yeah, but you're still going to want to go other places. You definitely going to want to go to other places. I mean, that's just how it is, guys. I promise you. You're going to be tempted to do that. Oh, RC says 4 days boots on the ground. Now, he's in Palawan. He says, only complaint is no English comprehension, but other than that, 6 pounds down in 4 days, 20,000 steps a day. Wow, 2 hours at the gym. That's unbelievable. Now, well, they'll act like they can't understand you. They're shy, but they really can. Lightning 351 say, hey, Cal, I'm George from South Florida. Do you self-insure yourself and your girl? Well, no. We both have field health, which is very affordable here. Maryland, as a matter of fact, we pay $3,600. It's $900 every quarter, but we pay the whole $3,600. And I got to get on her because she done forgot for the whole year for her. I mean, it's great, guys. Look, because the next question has to do with dating. If you're going to give a woman some money over here, make sure she's got a field health plan. Okay. Clint Dow says, I love Palawan. Did you see any condos there, Clint? Timothy White says, what's he saying? Hold on. I'll be headed back to the Pollock City in April or May. Now, that's a city that we don't talk a lot about. It's sort of like the Dumaguete of northern Mindanao. And I say that because there's a lot of foreigners in Dipolo. I mean, quite a few. Vince Lawson says, I spent most of 2022 in the fast lane in the Philippines and didn't really enjoy the roses. After the to-go ride and the end of the first relationship, I'm taking it slow and looking beyond the women, a tourist expat. Yeah, you got to make that transition at some point. Most of us, we spend too much time in the vacation mode and it costs us. Okay, Sniper the Viper says, Cal, how hard is it to open a business there? When I moved there, I want to look into a scuba diving business. Well, you're probably going to have one of those special visas, like married to a Filipino, some type of permanent resident visa that allows you to open up a business. Okay. Hey, Journey Trials and Joy, thanks for that super chat. He said, you mentioned on the video yesterday it's dangerous in parts of the Philippines. My girl is in Leyte and seems, let's see what he's saying. No one speaks about it. Wonder if it's safe to travel there. It really is. Now, right next to Leyte, there's a little bitty island called Biliran Island. Now, from some of my subscribers, Journey Trials and Joy, that live there, they say it's really no more dangerous than any place else. But for as small of an island as it is, a lot of foreigners end up dead on that island for some reason. But as far as, I've only been to Ormoc, Leyte, and I've actually been to Biliran, but I've been to Biliran. I didn't go to Naval, which is where a lot of those foreigners end up dead. I don't know why. And I went to Tacloban. And they just, Filipinos, you know, Leyte's not, you're not going to have any problems at all. I didn't. Okay. RC says 4 days in, 10,000 pesos down. Food, gym, membership, and food. People need to understand everything takes money. Nothing is free. Hey, you dirty puppy. Welcome to the chat. Well, see, the average person over here on vacation spends about 11 days, according to Statista and the Department of Tourism. And they spend about 6,000 pesos a day on vacation. Remember, that's the high rollers and the backpackers all in. So you'll get an idea. I said bring $1,000 for every week you're going to be here, if you can afford that. But don't let that stop you from coming over here, guys. Okay? Bring as much money as you can afford. Stay as long as you can, because it's nothing like the first time coming here. Philip Jones says, if you want to be a millionaire in the Philippines, bring $2 million with you. Business is bad there. I don't understand what you're saying. Sniper said, lady is lovely. I just came back from Lady September last year. Hey, Rose May said, good morning, Sir Calvin. Yeah, Philip Jones says the SRV, you can open a business. Yeah, 13A. And this is things that a lot of us don't know about the SRV. You can go to school here on the SRV. You can actually get a job in the Philippines from a Philippine source, I'm saying. You know, what I'm doing is not working in the Philippines. I'm working from the Philippines, guys. None of my money, YouTube is not in the Philippines, okay? And if they ever came to me and said, hey, Calvin, this is the law now, you have to pay tax, I would not mind doing that. But give me something for my taxes, okay? Jay Gulfport says, hey, Cal, my first time on the chat, but I have a real question. Okay, go ahead with it. Timothy White says, my girlfriend lives in Polanco, near DePolo. There's a lot of foreigners there, man. Damian War says, you still need a COVID vaccine to enter. No. But if you don't have the COVID, you need that antigen test 24 hours before departure. What's up, Big Wheel? He said, good morning from Saipan. Billy Tam says, going to Alabang in April, bringing $2,500 for 2 weeks. Love your show, Calvin. Yeah, that's plenty enough. Jay Gulfport 1 says, my question is, how can I make money living there? Well, unless you work at the Philippine Mint, you can't make money. You can earn money here. But remember, you have to have one of those permanent visas. I always tell guys, look, if you can't do something that the Filipinos not doing, don't even try it. But if you can come over here and you can do something that the Filipino can't do, or you can offer something he can't offer or doesn't offer, why not? I always say I would gear my business toward the foreigner, like Derek Q down in Lapu-Lapu is doing. He's got the motorcycles, he's got the Airbnb, you know, something like that. No sorry stores. Or anything like that. Oh, okay, Philip Jones. He said, it means you only be a millionaire there if you bring the million with you. Yeah. See, the thing about trying to have a business here, Jay Gulfport, is we don't have the patience to deal with a peso economy. Some of these sorry stores that you see, man, they may make 100 peso profit the whole day. You got to realize they're doing what? 1 and 2 pesos profit on each item. Maybe what? Let's see. Maybe 30 pesos on beer, I think. And that's only because of the deposit. Vince Lobster said, thanks for the super chat. He said, looking forward to the 25th. Have you picked a spot? Yeah, same place. But I'm going to do it different next time, guys. Because it's expensive to do these meet and greets the way I'm doing it. I learned something in Dumagetti. They do it the right way. They have it at an established establishment, and everybody meets there. And then if you want something to drink or if you want something to eat, you just purchase it from the house. I'm going to do it like that next time, and I think it's going to be better. I like the Meg's Resort because of the atmosphere, the environment. It has a swimming pool, you know. But yeah, because they're going to start getting bigger and bigger, and it's going to be beyond my budget, guys. I'm just being honest. So, yeah, I think the next time I'm going to take a page out of what they do, because at that Baki Divers Resort, it was nice. They had good food, but you had to buy your own food. It's no big deal. William Mayer says, hey, Calvin, I remember you saying your house costs around $25,000. How much to build that house now? It costs $20,000, probably around 25 or 26,000, William. Maybe a little more, because let's say 30%. Not that inflation is up that much, but let's just say 30%, because the builder is going to hit you on every level. The labor, the materials, his profit. So you're probably talking maybe like 27,000 or something. Oh, okay. Oh man, JB Gulfport. Sorry to hear about that. He said, I was set to move there, but cancer took everything. Now in recovery, I'm trying to rebuild. But man, you grateful just to be alive, brother. That's a fact. Okay, the next question was, how do I know if my woman is using me? Look, listen to this. You don't listen to nothing else today. We're all using each other, okay, to do the things that we need to do, okay? It's a hard life over here, and, you know, they're using us and we're using them for what we need. If love comes, that's a bonus. You have to know what's going on over here, guys. Do your research. Some of the people that I've met who are really getting on well, they've been married like 20 years, you know. I met a couple at one of the meet and greets down there, and I forgot their names. I'm sorry. I meant to look that up because I wanted to shout them out. Because it looks to me like they prepared for their new life in the Philippines. A lot of us, we don't prepare enough. We don't give this place any respect. That's Western supremacy. We think we can just show up over here and, you know, our life's going to change and all that. But it looks to me like they had been together like 20 years before they moved here, back here. And you could see it in the way they live, the house they're building. And I wanted to shout them out. If you're watching, y'all know who I'm talking about. They've been here for 22 years. They've been together for 22 years. But yeah, man, life is hard over here. And what we're asking for is peanuts, really. They're happy to give that to you. You know, but here's what you got to understand. If sex is all you want and attention is all you want, this is probably the reason why the first relationship doesn't work over here. Because once you've put that far out, then what? You better hope you chose the right one, which more than likely you didn't. You're going to see I don't have nothing in common, okay? But it's hard getting away from relationships over here. They take it hard. The guy asked earlier, he said, hey, why don't you want to deal with a Filipino that's already dealt with a foreigner? Because she's going to make you pay. And remember, I'm not talking from a place of authority. Most of the people I know have not even been over here 5 years, myself included. It'd be 5 years in December, nowhere near 10. And most of the people that you see with these vlogs, they're new over here. The old guys, except for people like Bud Brown, they aren't sharing their information. They're sitting off in the cut somewhere, living a great life. They're not giving you any kind of tips, any kind of advice. So we're doing the best we can. You know, we're doing the best we can. Billy Time says, Stargazer, I'm doing the same online. Girlfriend never asked me for money. Her family has a store in Agabang. Well, you got to understand, man, there's an unspoken agreement, dude. She's never going to ask you for money. When you get over here and see what kind of store they got and the profits they're making, it's going to make a big difference to you. You're going to see a business over here is different from a business over there. She's never going to ask you for anything, okay? But when you come over here, you're going to see who's paying for the hotel or the Airbnb, when you go out to eat and all of that. QDub76 says, when you return to the Philippines, seems like it would be hard to get out of vacation mode. How do you do that? Well, when you start seeing your money run down, okay? When you start seeing your money dwindling, you're going to, what they say, shit, I get off the pot. You're going to make a change. Are you going back home? Okay? That's just the bottom line. You know, you're going to know when it's time. Okay, you're going to know when it's time. But yeah, Billy times, don't let that fool you. I don't care how much you love that lady and how much she says she loves you, you're going to spend for everything. Stargazer says, Calvin, how do I get Alpha David on my Filipino girlfriend? She lives in Bacolod. We've been in a long distance relationship for over a year, and I'll be there in April. What do you mean? I don't understand that. I'm going to tell you this. You're not going to know what you got until you get here, okay? That's a fact. You talking about you're trying to do a research? No, wait till you get here, okay? And then go around the friends, go around the family, spend some time with her, okay? And that's the best way for you to find out. Paying somebody to do it, I wouldn't pay anybody to do that. Because when they start seeing strange faces in the squatter area and all the places like that, guy, they're going to know something ain't right. Imagine some guy asked me, could I do it for him? I'm like, okay, a black man shows up. What do you think they're going to say? And I'm walking past her house asking questions. TJ says, hey, if you want to do a meetup in Divine next year, I got a rooftop venue on which I can get you a good deal. Yeah, well, see, here's would be the deal. The deal would be to let us have it, and you're going to get the profits from the food in the bar. I mean, we're not trying to make a profit on it, but I'm not trying to go broke either. Sniper the Viper said, Cal, I'm building a house there now, a 2-bedroom. It's cost over $1.5 million so far. It's only 2 stories, roof not even on yet. Yeah, prices have went up, guys, over here. A lot. But remember, that's $30,000, so probably, you're probably a 2-story, you're probably looking at about $2.5 million, probably. Kevin House says, what all I need to move there but still be a citizen in the United States, how to get an income there, man. You're asking a lot, okay? All you need is a valid passport to move here. Okay, and all the requirements, whether you're vaccinated or not. Once you get here, you can extend up to 30 days, okay? And then, 29 days. Then after that, you can go 1, 2, or 6 months up to 36 months. Okay. And then, because even if you get a permanent visa, you're still a U.S. citizenship. You're not giving that back. Now, how to find work over here or income over here, man. It's tough over here, guys. I would say get a job there that allows you to work remotely and then come over here and be on the phone or something. Because I've got a subscriber in Bahal, and he earns about $2,000 per month. Yeah, this is it, Greg Down Rock. Thank you. Said Calvin, I believe the people you were talking about was Wilma and Greg. Yeah, that's it. You can tell just by when you meet them that they prepared for their life over here. They've been together for 22 years. I think they've only been back here, I want to say 2 years, but they're building a house and, they prepared, guys. Most of us don't prepare. We don't prepare enough. Hey, Billy said, thanks for the heads up, Cal. Yeah, it's an unspoken agreement, because some guy says, hey, my girl's got a house over here. Well, a house over here, man, don't mean anything, okay? I hate to tell you that, all right? It don't mean a whole lot. She probably didn't pay no more than 100,000 pesos for it altogether. And I'm not putting anybody down. I'm just telling you, okay? That's just how it is. So, and a business might be a sorry business with a few strands of Nescafe coffee and cream silk shampoo. And she said, yeah, I got my own business. Then when you get over here, you're going to see. Yeah, see, this is true, Dana. But I said this all the time. You know, don't build a house over here, guys, unless you're here, really. You know, I don't care who it is, you know, and I don't care how much you trust the person because you dirty puppy is doing it. You know, it just keeps your costs down, though, guys, when you do it. I'm sure he'd love to be here. Okay, but I wouldn't build a house over here. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you something. He's got one of the most honest builders that you could possibly have, but I gotta be here. I'm sorry. Camille Cookie, this is Shelby and his beautiful wife says, hey, Cal and Wendy, I don't forget you guys. He says, hey, Cal, my husband is wondering how he can stay in the Philippines for longer than 30 days. Well, about a week before your 30 days is up, just go to any Bureau of Immigration office and extend your visa. Okay, they call that a long-term stay visa. There's genius over here, guys. They're getting ready to. There's a congressman now who's asking for a $25 fee to be put on foreigners who stay here in the Philippines 2 months or less, and it's supposed to help with the Department of Tourism and to get them more more streamlined, and it's going to help their services. But yeah, they let you stay here 36 months consecutively because you're going to spend a lot of money doing that. A lot of fees associated with that, billions and billions. Yeah, you dirty puppy says, my biggest issue is not the bill, but how to send 100,000 cash. Yeah, legally. Yeah, see, that's what you're going to run into. Thank you, Camilla Cookie, for that super sticker. What's going to happen is you're going to have to send it a little at a time. You dirty puppy says, I learned my lessons. Yeah, you got to keep an honest man honest, okay? And you've got one of the most honest guys going. I mean, you couldn't ask for a better engineering builder over here. I promise you, man. Sir Arthur, and I call him Sir, he's younger than me, but, he's an engineer, he's a businessman, he's, he knows a lot of high VIP type people over here. He hangs in those kind of circles. He told me, he said, look, I'm going to build your house in 90 days, and I'm going to build it on budget. And that's exactly what he did. To get that over here in the Philippines as a foreigner, he knew right away I was a foreigner because he was dealing with me. He wasn't dealing with Maryland. Man, you can't put a price on that. But it made me feel a lot better being here because I was over here every day. Oh, you dirty puppy. I mean, John Gomez said, get 10 people who can carry 10,000 in their pocket. Philip Jones said, you send 100,000 and on hearing crickets after it arrives. But he's got a pretty good girl, but, you can't send it all at once like that. They're going to, all kind of bells and whistles are going to go off. Mike Dawsonville, and this is a fact, guys, right here. He says, I paid $2 million for my lot in the subdivision in Davao City. Yeah, land over here in some places is ridiculous. A little place like St. Carlos City over in South Villa, you can ask you dirty puppy, he probably paid a fortune for his. AC King says, how do you secure your cash when you first in country? You can't immediately get a bank account, and it's not safe to walk around with cash or leave it stashed in an unsecured Airbnb room. Well, here's what you got to do. Remember, you can only bring 10,000 or less at one time over here. Bring it in your debit card. That's how you secure it. I would bring, enough to get me started. If I'm going to buy a motorcycle, furniture for my house, first month rent, and the deposit, and food and, just all the little stuff, towels and stuff like that. I would bring 4,000 or 5,000. And the rest would be on my card because that's what I did. Now, once you are here and you're able to open up a checking account, see, this is what I'm talking about, getting prepared. See, John wasn't prepared. Well, actually, he was. He asked his bank, he says, hey, do you transfer money to the Philippines, the credit union? They said, oh, yeah, we do. Until he got over here and realized they didn't. That's a good question, AC King. See, make sure, guys, that your bank transfers money over here to the banks over here. And a lot of them do. You make that one transfer every month, you in like Flint. But the first time I'd bring 4,000 or 5,000, put the rest on your debit card. Okay, and then once you're here, 59 days, it takes another 30 days to get your ACR card. So after about 90 days, you go to the bank. It's going to be hit and miss, man. I think when you go to these little small cities, you have a better chance of opening an account, which is what I would do. If I'm living in Cebu, I may try Lapu-Lapu. I may try St. Carlos City. I may try one of these little places because Cebu City, Manila, and all that, man. You got to realize, man, Philippines is strict, guys. They're strict. Yeah, he said, I hear Booby crying. Yeah, Calvin loves that. Man, you talk about that gives me a headache. But Booby's the boss. Okay, Sam Champion said, Cal, I said this before. We got 2 quotes for $2 million to renovate our house. Then after wife went over in August, the price went down to $15,000 with her being there in person. Absolutely. I've got a subscriber here. He's a great guy from Alabama, man. But he made the mistake of sending that money over here to the Filipina to build the house. The house is not complete. All his money's gone. Jay Sully says 204 watching, 85 likes. Don't be lazy. Hit that John. Yeah, come on, guys. I mean, it's no big deal. Oh, okay. You dirty puppy says I bring cash and gold and travel for free. Hey, Razor Rays, what's up, brother? He said thanks for that super chat. He said salute to you, brother Cal. I'll keep up the content, man. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And he's got a good channel, but I think you deal with what? Colombia, Brazil, the DR. Razor Ray. Check him out. I'm going to have you back on my panel, man. Philip Jones says, I bought 5,000. It's not a problem if you stay at a place that has a safe in your room. Well, it's not going to be a problem if you're in a hotel or like Heidi's cabin when she's got that big security gate and she has a trusted staff that's been with her for years. And then, you got to do, man, is just put it in your locked luggage. Nobody's going to carry that out of there like that. And let me tell you something. This is a fact. You got to keep them honest because they won't steal unless you put it on the table right where they can see it. They're not going to risk their job, man. Jobs are hard to come by here. I haven't had 1 peso stolen from me over here. Okay? Okay, Razor Ray said, yeah, thanks. South Africa content. South America content. Man, I was on YouTube last night just messing around, waiting for this medicine to kick in. And man, they got something called Jungle Justice over in Nigeria, man. They're not playing over there. If you get caught committing a crime or you might even be mistaken identity, man, they putting that tar around your neck and setting you on fire, man. It's terrible over there, man. I'm like, seeing stuff like that. See, you're not going to see that over here. That would scare me for going someplace. The Bachelor of Science said, can someone explain what passport bro means? I missed the whole thing. But it's just a lot of black guys who are exercising, getting their passport and exercising their right to travel. Seeing their options, but we've been doing it for centuries, but I'm not going to take anything away from their movement. These are young guys, a lot of them, a lot of first-time travelers, man. They trying to see what's out here, man? It's 197 million square miles. That's all it is. Yeah, Philip Jones, he said, you need an ATR card. You absolutely do. Okay, he says, I'll fly on the Filipino Airlines, by the way. I know they've got a direct flight, I'm thinking from San Francisco. Because my wife and son did that on their way home. Vince Lawson says, for guys asking about what they need to prepare for the Philippines, you was right. Bring as much money as you can. On the flip side, it's like swimming. You have to just jump in the water. Yeah, but what I was talking about today, those days of just jumping in the water, Vince, are over in the Philippines. Okay? It might be a shark in there. You got to do a little bit more research, a little bit more preparation. Is it as hard as some of these other countries? No, this is probably the easiest country for an English-speaking person to assimilate into. But we run into a lot of problems. Our bank won't switch the money over. Okay, so now we're making all these withdrawals. It's costing us a fortune. Okay, we're making stupid decisions like that. We moved to the wrong city. Remember, we're following other people. Remember, guys, most of the guys you see on these channels, they got 5 years or less over here consecutively. We're on training wheels. We're doing the best we can. You know, y'all come down on us hard, but I mean, even the best of them. And with the Filipino vloggers, you know, except for John's on here, NJ Tua Cebu. If you ask him something about the Philippines, he's going to give you the nitty gritty. But most of these channels won't do it. Most of these Filipino vloggers, they're showing off their country with pride. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. But they're going to leave out a whole lot. They're just going to do it. So we're doing the best we can. But I would say, man, we got to show the Philippines a lot more respect in terms of preparing to relocate here. You can do anything for 2 weeks. But when you're talking about being here for 2 years, man, you better have your big boy pants on. Because what's going to get us, most of us, is these women waiting over here. We put too much, we give them too much credit, guys. You know, it's just the bottom line. You hear me when I say you're the prize. Okay, you're the diamond, you're the catch, but you really don't believe it. Because your actions say you don't believe it, but you are. If you come over here with a good, firm no in your vocabulary, and you say, you know, until you get to know her, guys, we don't know these women. You're only going to go so far until you get to know her. You're going to be all right. But when you come over here, you're giving women millions of pesos before you ever see them? Come on, man. Because the guy asked me, and I got the question on here, he says, is there any hope for foreign men over there? Yeah. When we learn how to say no, when we realize, look, there's no party until we show up. There's no party, guys, until we get here. The party don't start till we get here. If we don't come here, there is no party. All right? We treat them a whole lot better than the Chinese, the Vietnamese, the Cambodians, and the South Koreans and Malaysians. Okay? I don't care what you say. We do. All right? And that's who they're interested in. They want to go to the West. And, you know, I'm just giving you the nitty gritty. But until you realize that you're the number one priority over here, you're 8,000 miles from home. We want to discount the 8,000, guys. I don't get that. You're 8,000 miles from home, man, in a foreign country. But we think, oh, it's the Philippines. Man, you better put your big boy pants on and start showing this country a little bit more respect. I call that Western supremacy, man. We don't prepare nearly enough for the Philippines as we should. Because we see all these guys over here. See? We see how easy they got. They show you the good side. And, oh, man, look, he's in Boracay. And he's not really telling you how much he's paying for the hotel. All the money he spent on the girl. Okay? And all of that. Butcher says, did you get any customers to rent your motorcycle? Maryland, it's Maryland's business, okay? Because I can't own a business over here. I'm not trying to do that. But yeah, we've got a reservation for the 18th and 19th because she's getting the permit, the business permit. But yeah, that's not going to be a problem because when people come here to stay with us, because we're not trying to get rich, we're just trying to pay for the motorcycle, really. Okay, it's a good deal. I mean, you're talking about $7 a day for a brand new motorcycle. Okay, TJ said, I've flown that San Francisco to Manila nonstop. I'd rather take a 2-segment flight. Yeah, I think it's 14 or 15 guys. D of J, he's right off my page with what he's saying. D of J, CNC, D of J, CNC says, Uncle Cal, why does guys focus so much on money when it takes money to have a girlfriend or a family? So what are you saying? Why do we focus so much on money? There's more important things to focus on when you get over here than a woman. You're going to have a woman. It's like a lottery ticket floating around in the air and somebody simply grabs it out of the air. Okay, it's really like that, guys. Life is hard over here and they know the game and they're willing to play it because what we want, they're willing to, it's peanuts to them. They're willing to do it, okay? Is that all you want? See, but after you put that fire out, then you're going to be like, man, I don't have anything in common with you. And I done spent all this money taking you all these places, money that could have been spent buying me a nicer bed or buying me a nicer place, okay? Get settled over here first. I mean, some guy was talking about, oh man, you can't tell men not to go over there looking for women who haven't had attention and all that. Yeah, well, you better get that in check before you come over here because if you do, there's no hope for you. They got you, okay? They got you, man, because they're going to put it on you. Big Will says, I live 100 miles from Guam. It's nice. I got several subscribers over there. Yeah, this $1,000 budget, it was a big argument before. Now, pre-pandemic, you could do it. You could do it, but now I'm going to tell you something, guys. That's how I had to change my attitude about that. I no longer advocate that because you're not going to have much left over. And you don't want to be over here broke going from month to month, okay? You don't want that. You're always going to see something over here that you want to do or someplace you want to go, something, you want to buy. And $1,000 is just not going to leave you enough, man. Now when I go to the store, believe it or not, because when I leave somewhere, like when I came back from Boracay, see, Maryland, then when I leave, the minute I leave the door, see, this is what you got to start looking and filing this somewhere in your head. When I leave, she reverts back to her normal self, okay? She spends very little. They buy just enough every single day. So when I get back, there's nothing in there. There's no oil, there's no bacon, there's no eggs, there's no nothing. So I'm going to the store now. I'm spending $6,500 for groceries, which I never used to have to do that before at one time. You may do that. Okay, say if I do that 3 times a month, which I'm not going to spend $6,500 3 times a month. So let's say 15,000, and then you're talking about your place because you're not going to come over here and live in the squatters area. Remember I reminded you, this is just from what I'm seeing and what I've lived before. The lower your rent, the lower the secure the area is going to be. Okay, it's an exception here in San Carlos City where you can go over there and get a nice 1-bedroom apartment for $10,000. Add another $1,000, you got cable and internet. but you've got to pay the electric and the water. Okay, so you're looking at about 17,000. See, but 1,000 is just not enough anymore, because you're going to want to go to Boracay. You're going to want to go to Phang Lao Bahal. And then you got this woman next to you. She's got to eat, guys. You're going to have to buy her Zoom Zooms and Wham Whams is what they call them. Pads and panty liners and bras and all that other stuff that you didn't budget for before you got over here. Unless you wear pads and bras, which you don't. Oh, okay, Bill Smith says, I've been there 3 times in the past year. You can say all you want on the internet, but you cannot fly under 25 hours from the Midwest or East Coast. Yeah, but from San Francisco, you can. But yeah, you're right about that. You're always going to, when I came here in December, we flew from Chicago to Hong Kong. That was 15 hours. Then we had like a 10-hour layover. Then, 2.5 hours to Cebu. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, if you're on the West Coast, you can get it. RC says, I do not find any Asian woman attractive, just no personal preference. That's all it is. But I thought you were married, RC. Are you? Is this RC in Jacksonville or another RC? The realist says, why are more Filipinos begging for money on the dating sites? It seems to be getting more difficult to date Filipinos. It's really not. You have to understand, when a woman asks you for that, that's not the woman you want to deal with. They're not like that for real, guys. But they do expect you to hold up your end of the bargain. But it's not hard to date Filipinos. They're my preference. But I'm just telling you what, my experience over here. They're not going to ask you for money. Miles never asked me for not 1 peso. Well, hell, look how much I spent. She don't have to. Okay? She's certainly not going to beg. So if you got somebody on the internet begging you, man, you keep scrolling. And, you don't want to generalize them, man, because overwhelming majority will not ask you for anything. They know about the unspoken agreement, guys. I mean, we the ones that don't know it. Excuse me. And the smart ones know that she don't have to ask you. Okay? They're going to put it on you. They know why you come over here. They know that you haven't had a woman, a young woman, in her prime, show you that type of attention, guys. You're going to spend money over here. That's why I say 1,000 is not enough anymore. Oh, okay. I thought you were married and had okay. Oh, Randy Sig. Oh, okay. So yeah, you're a different one. Now I'm going to tell you something, Randy. Well, you come over, you see the right ones, man. I don't know. Women are beautiful women to me, okay? I can go to Brazil. I've been to Colombia. I've been to Mexico, America, obviously. Beautiful woman's a beautiful woman, man. They got some beautiful women over here, man. Me and Marilyn, we went to the Western Union yesterday to send some money out. And I was just sitting there across the street, man, and this young girl came by. She had to have been about, I guess, about 22, man. Oh, my God. Because Filipinos, remember, they don't look Asian, a lot of them. They're mixed with a lot of stuff. You use a lot of these women over here, man. They look European in a way. Well, not really European, what I want to say. Polynesian and, more like that. Bill Smith says, fly to Manila, stay on the seaside, Boulevard area, and walk around the Mall of Asia. You will have 10 dates in 4 to 5 hours. That's good advice. But here's the problem. And me and Franz was talking about this the other day when I was in Cebu. Most of us are afraid to say hello to these women. John, of all the advice and information he gave me, the best one he gave me, he said, Calvin, it's real easy. When you say hello to a woman over here, you're going to know if she's interested. if you should go further. If it's hello and she says hello and keep going, but she says hello, which they do, guys, you're gonna know automatically. Then you say, hey, how you doing? You know, whatever, you know, but don't start with that. Oh, you're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Has anybody told you you were beautiful today and all that? No, Merlin told me the way that you meet women over here is you find out something in common. And the one thing you got in common is you're in the same city with her. So that's an easy place to start. He's like, hey, I just got here. Where can I do this or that? You got time, you know, maybe to show me where the mall is or where I can catch a taxi or something. But when you start out with that, oh, you're beautiful and this and that, man, we're starting off on the wrong track. Jack Wolfinger says, Cal, I agree, 1,000 budget is silly. I live in Cebu City, getting married in March, and I live very comfortably on 3,000 plus. I don't sacrifice anything. I don't move her to sacrifice. And see, you're right. You get ready to get married, you're with a woman that takes whatever your budget is. It's going to take it up there, guys. She's got to eat. For some reason, we think we don't want to feed these women over here. And she's not going to eat. She's going to eat more than she's normally eating. All right? She's going to need all that other stuff that you never budgeted for. Then you're going to have gifts. You're going to start caring for this young lady. And you're going to start buying her stuff that she never even asked you to buy. Okay? Hey, what's up, Jeffrey? Thanks for that super chat, brother. I appreciate you. You think I'm lying? I got you on here, man. I was going to bring something up. Thanks for that super chat. He says, great content as always, Cal. You're the man. I appreciate it. I was getting ready to talk about, you know, most of the vloggers on YouTube, foreign vloggers, we haven't been here long. We're doing the best we can. Hell, I needed help when I went to Thailand. Jeffrey Tatter and Eric Terry. They basically held my hand and took me there, man. So I can imagine what guys coming over here, it's the same thing. I mean, I want to give a shout out to these guys because Jeffrey Tatter gave me the hookup, Mr. Lee. He placed him right on the silver platter. He said, here, Cal, this is on me, Mr. Lee, for your whole time there. He's going to take care of you. It's one of the greatest gifts I've ever received because I was scared to death to go to Thailand. I was scared to get on the plane, but Eric Terry made that so much easier. We didn't sit together, but I knew he was back there. And when we got to Thailand, it was so much better knowing that you had somebody with you that had your back. And he certainly had my back the whole time. Okay. And this is what I'm trying to do. I'm not speaking to you from some place of authority. I've only been here not even 5 years straight yet. But we need to start helping each other, guys. I mean, more, because you need help, man. We need to stop taking this place for granted. Disrespecting the Philippines like, oh, I can just come over here and make it on 1,000, or, you know, and I'm not going to take care of the woman. And, man, y'all ain't even, this is not reality. Okay, it's not reality. You're not going to live the kind of life that you should be living over here. Hey, you dirty puppy, thanks for that super sticker. He's building a nice house, you know. The only thing different I would have done, I mean, it's just an unbelievable house. Period. Is I would be here. I would be here just to keep honest people honest, you know. He's got a great engineer, the same guy who built my house. They've got some type of family connection. I think you dirty puppy's daughter goes with his son, and, you know, because that family, you know, they're no joke. They've got businesses, and, you know, now if you were going to meet, see, there's very few people like that you're going to meet over here, though, as a woman, I mean. You know, they just aren't on those dating sites, man. The Filipino man's going to scoop them up. Yeah, Moneymaker says to say money don't move her in. You really can do that, especially I would say for the first 6 months, so you really get to know her and say, this is the one for me. I tell you what, my buddy Franz, I bet he would have wished he would have did that and left her ass on that other side, to say, hey, are you the one for me, for real? And I'm not picking on Franz. I'm just saying I could name 10 other guys like that. This is my buddy. He knows I ain't picking on him, but you got to know who you're dealing with, and we don't. We move them right in, and the trouble starts almost immediately. So, yeah, you can do it at least for the first 6 months. At least start caring for the woman. Loving her and caring for her is two different things. All right? It's not, I don't even know the definition of love, man. It's just so much, it mimics infatuation too much. It's hard for me to tell the difference anymore. But when you care for somebody, you care about their, what happens to them. You care that they eat and, that they're taken care of and they're protected and all of that. See, when you start caring for somebody over here, then you move them in or you start helping them on that other level. But not as soon as we get here, you don't love them, man. You basically just love, the intimacy and stuff. Sniper the Viper says, Cal, you should add some food tasting in your vlogs. I think folks would love it. That's a good idea. But to be honest with you, man, I've lost 25% of my YouTube channel since I don't talk about women and dating and sex as much as I used to. But it's in such demand. And see, I've got a Patreon page. And those guys, I told them, I said, hey, if y'all want me to do it on here, I will. Because that's a whole different audience. And they say, yeah, it's a good idea. If you want to talk about that, just talk about it with us. So, I'll put my Patreon in there. If you want that kind of stuff, it's just gotten to the point, it's too much on YouTube. Okay. And it's getting cringier and cringier. Yeah, 25%. Yeah, because that's all they want to hear about. That's entertainment. And that's what I mean. We don't prepare enough for the Philippines. We don't know enough about the country. So when we get over here, all you're going to be is, it's all going to be about a woman. She's going to take all your money. It's the old game, guys. It's an old game. This isn't nothing new. All these tough guys that come on my channel talking about, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. You're not going to do it when you get over here. I promise you that. Stephen Elliott Venture said, great advice. Yeah, when you start caring for somebody, then you move them in. Otherwise, you just, you're playing with fate, man. Raj and Bean of Bingala Travel said, being responsible for the one we love means being responsible for our final days as well. That's right. But how can you have no responsibility for that woman when you first get over here? Only to the point that you place responsibility for her because she's a stranger. And to say you love her, man, there's no way you love that woman, man. You know what you want. That's why the guy asked me, he says, how can I know if my woman is using me? We're using each other over here in the beginning. Okay? You're using her for whatever it is you're using her for, and she's using you for whatever it is she's using you for. John Gomez, thank you for that super chat. He said, thank you, Cal. He said, you kept me sane during the pandemic. I'll meet you in person in March, brother. Man, that's going to be something, man. Whenever people come over here, it's like I already know them anyway, because I have these live streams. We got that connection. When Eric Terry, Robert White, Franz, Sidney, I can name them all, man, that's come over, Vince Lawson, Greg Williams. I've never met anybody I felt strange with except that one guy, Levon Young. I mean, there's so many guys, man, black, white, Asian, Derek, Michael Gladney, which congratulations, Michael. He got married to his Filipino girlfriend, and they've been together for years before they got married over in Hong Kong. You Dirty Puppy said, learn that lesson quickly. Fresh Aloha says, I'm coming in August and I will be extremely cautious with my money. But I've been in America for over 50 years and been exposed to toxic women here. I prefer to help an honest Filipino than a U.S. user. Yeah. But you have to know the difference, Fresh Aloha, and that's the problem. And we always say what we won't do until we get here. Some of these women, man, are just going to knock your socks off, man. I was at that meet and greet in Dumaguete. Now, I'm going to tell you, y'all, we talk about those guys down there, man, but they got some nice looking women, man. And you run into one of them women down there, this one guy, I can't think of his name. He probably had the fox of all foxes, man. This woman was about, I think she was 33 or 35 or something, man. She may have been the most beautiful Filipino I've ever seen. Body, man, I mean, oh my God, she was beautiful. Okay? When somebody over here is waiting for you like that, everything you say you're not going to do, you're going to do. It's going to be hard to look into them brown eyes and say, no, man. I'm just being honest with you guys. Hey, Tall Barber, he said, good morning, Cal. Hey, do you think that after the weather balloon activity, Subic will be reopening? Well, they're supposed to have some more bases or access to bases over here. I don't know if they're going to open like the good old days, but remember, they've been coming over here for years, man. All you got to do is go up there in Manila on any given day, and you're going to go to Mall of Asia. You'll see a bunch of young men running around there. Those are a bunch of young Americans. Those are sellers. I did it in 2017. You know, and this is the only thing I'll say about this, because I don't want to get no politics going here. You know, they're preparing us for that war environment, man. You know, I'm just saying that theater war. When they start doing stuff like this, okay, shooting down balloons, you know, they're hyping the enemy up, man. You know, China hasn't been to war with anybody, especially in this era over here since Vietnam in the 70s. But they're getting us ready for that, man, and we've fallen for it. We know very little about China, and I don't know. I just think as an American citizen, man, we need to start pushing back. We need to start letting these people serve us, man, you know, because if there's a war, you know, one general gets on TV, social media and said, yeah, 2024 or 2025, he said, it's almost going to sure we're going to be at war with China. Okay, how responsible is that, man? Why would you say that? And then the Pentagon backs it up and all that. I'm like, man, come on, guys. They ain't going to help nothing. The Bachelor of Science said, what was the story of the guy that stayed there, man? I haven't heard from him, but he was weird. I mean, of all the people, he was weird. He never came out of that room. Once he went in there, the first day he did, you know, we fed him breakfast and lunch, but dinner he didn't eat. So then the whole next day, he never came out of there. And I'm like, hey, dude, you want something to eat? I said, you ain't had anything to eat all day. I've got some stuff, you know, he says. And I just chalked it up as being one of these spoiled California guys. Because, you know, you get some California guys. I'm not picking on y'all, but y'all got your own ways, man. And I just chalked it up for that. Sam Champa said, Cal, most likely Subic is not reopening to the Navy. They released the list already. Subic was not on the list. U.S. military will share use of Philippines military facilities. See, and that's all that is. They're getting the theater of war together, man. And I don't like it. You know, I'm anti-war, and that's about all I am, really. I don't get into the argument about abortion, the COVID, and all that, but I'm anti-war. I go on the record saying that, man. Nobody wins with that, but the rich people. You know, we end up losing our best and brightest on both sides, and nothing really has changed. You know, like I said, America, we will destroy the whole world before we get off that pedestal. We're not going to lose our place in the world. We'll destroy the world before we do that. And that's a dangerous position, man. Yeah, but I'm saying, who's going to win with that? He said, China don't want none. See, that's the kind of time. It's not a Super Bowl, guys. That's playing tonight. It's not a Super Bowl. People are going to be dying. Hey, Slevin, he says, what's up, Unc? Just checking in. Thank you for all you do. I appreciate it. I love the China said, when you say no, she says, please. Oh, man, these women over here, man. Michael McFarland says, I was with my wife 6 years before getting married. See, a lot of us, you can say what you're not going to do 8,000 miles away. Okay? I doubt if TJ's able to say no to his girl. If he is, it's not for long. He's got a stunner over here. And, it's just a lot of you guys, you just don't really know what you're getting into. I can't, TJ Johnson, shout out that one guy. He's got a big personality. Mark interviewed him before, and he's got, the white hair. He's a really nice guy. He came up and introduced himself to me. He said, hey, I watch your channel. And I really couldn't hear what he said. Because this woman, man, was fine as hell. And I hope he, don't take it as disrespect. I'm just giving you credit, brother. But a lot of guys say what they won't do. You get a woman like that over her weight. She's like this. She's probably, and I'm talking about for a Filipina, she's probably 34, 24, 36, or some crazy numbers like that. But we always say what we're not going to do. Michael Lee said, my Filipino wife and I have been together for 26 years. We live here in Florida. I have 3 kids that now live on their own. My wife is the best thing that ever happened to me in my life. Yeah. We don't get lucky, man. Most of the guys, you see Sam Champion, I have a good wife, believe it or not. Okay. You can get unlucky over here, though, but you can't really get lucky because, most of the women over here, they're really good women. That's what saves us. W Secrets to Success. Thanks for that super chat. Said, no, it's easy, Cal. Well, you're the exception, though. And then remember, you didn't run into this woman. The woman that you ran into, she was nice looking, but this was the truth. I'm going to say, I hardly ever call any woman a 10. But this guy's got about as close to a 10 as you're going to see in the Philippines, man. She's beautiful, dude. And I tell you, if you think I'm joking, I'm going to tell you I was watching. And what reminded me of it, I was watching, me and Merlin was watching. We was looking for the videos from that meet and greet just to see what they put out there because I didn't do it. And the first thing on there, this guy's following her around from the back. And I'm like, he knows what he's doing. He said, TJ. Yeah, TJ got a stunner, man. He ain't saying no to that girl, man. Shit. Think he stays in all them fancy-ass places. You're making me thirsty. Not me. VFW Dwayne says, why am I seeing vloggers dogging on your cow? Well, mostly it's those, those, I don't call them trolls anymore. I call them stalkers. And you got to ask them, really. I don't know. I don't spend any more time discussing them, guys. It's, it's sick. Yeah, Sam Champion said, jealousy, bro. They can't even keep it with Cal. Yeah, they don't even know me. I mean, why would you want to, talk about somebody you don't know? But yeah, it's hard. It's easy to say what you're not going to do over there. But this next video I'm going to talk about is why we need to prepare more when we come over here. We don't give the Philippines nearly the respect that we should. I mean, really. I mean, those days of just showing up over here, stepping off the plane, with $1,000 is over, man, and you're going to see it. I was looking at some condos for rent in Cebu, $40,000. I'm like, wow, 40 grand pesos per month. It's about 700 and just say I'll round it off about 750. Yeah, there's your 1,000 gone right there. He said, TJ said, all those suites and seats are predate my girlfriend. Yeah. You ain't bought that level down. He says, TJ Johnson says, laugh out loud. I don't have much to say no to. She's pretty low maintenance. I'm actually the high maintenance partner in this relationship. Yeah. But I mean, she's enjoying a hell of a ride, dude. And I think you know that. Hey, Calvin Williamson. Calvin, listening for a few months now. I appreciate your giving the nitty gritty. Married to my Filipino wife almost 20 years now here in Atlanta, about 3 years out, but we're going to retire in the Philippines. That's a great idea. The guy said it, Wilma and Greg. I met them. Of all the people I met there, I just saw the genuineness in them. They were genuine, and his wife says, it's okay if I take a picture with you. Yeah, and then they show me their house, and they've been together 22 years. They don't look, you can see they look happy, man. They don't look old and tired, and they look like they prepared, because I told him, I said, man, how did you get your wife to come back over here after living in America for 20 years? See? He's got a good one, man. And, you can tell that they prepared. And you can tell, not just him, but anybody that you see over here that's prepared, you can see it. It's apparent, man. They're living really, really good. But you can see people barely making it, guys showing up, eating leftovers off the plate in the mall. And we don't have to do that over here, man. Pride allows us, we don't want to ask for help. We don't want to go home. One more attempt, one more failure. Raj and Bing of Bing a Lot Travel says, after 13 wonderful years with Bing, I would never look west for love again. Yeah, I don't blame you. But after being with you for 13 years, man, you changed her. You brought her over to your side a whole lot, whether you realize it or not. Certainly your standard of living. And this is one thing we don't want to admit. Oh, Harold Till's back, huh? Yeah, he's in the Hall of Fame, remember? This guy spent $20,000 in 1 month over in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, he was my first inductee into the Sunshine Shoulders Hall of Fame. That's crazy. VFW Dwayne says the new U.S. military base is coming. What's it say? That's coming back. What are your thoughts? I really don't have any thoughts on it. They're going to do what they're going to do. VFW Dwayne. That's just how it is. There's no sense in me worrying about it. If things get too hot and heavy over, because people always say, well, what if China does this and China does that? Trust me, U.S., if they don't do anything else, they're going to evacuate their citizens. I'm not worried about it. I'm not going to lose any sleep. Calvin, Fresh Aloha said, Calvin, I love of your speak about respect a lot. I believe that although there's over 100 different languages, but respect speaks them all. Absolutely. And I just think that we don't give this place enough respect. Not the respect that it deserves. Okay? Did you see? I don't know what happened to what happened down in Valencia. But you got to give a country respect when you see that. I mean, whatever happened down there, I don't know. It's none of my business. I'm just making a point. You guys don't know what you're dealing with over here. They let these people out of jail. They killed an important, the kin of an important person in the Philippines. They let them out of jail on a technicality. They never made it home, guys. You don't know what you're dealing with. Look, come over here and show this place a whole lot more respect than what we've been showing it. Okay, I learned that lesson a long time ago, guys. Okay, I don't know what happened. I don't care. It's none of my business, but I know that you better respect this place and you better respect the people and the culture, or you're going to pay. TJ Johnson said, my girl would rather me settle down in PH because it's cheaper. I can't really say I disagree. It is, and it just all depends on the lifestyle that you try to live. It's certainly going to be cheaper than Brooklyn. Oh, okay. He says, what time is the Super Bowl on, guys? You Dirty Puppy says that YouTube experiment currently our USA laws allow 60,000 cash every 6 months if you are vetted by our government. Remitting, yeah. Yeah, you got to be careful. That's another thing. I'm glad you brought that up. Just another way of being prepared, because I didn't prepare for this. I was in Cebu one time, man. I went to send myself some money from Zoom. I mean, not Zoom, Remitly. And they shut me down. I kept on trying, and they said, no. I called the office and said, look, you reached your limit. You got to apply for a higher limit, Mr. Roach. Your limit is only, I forgot what it was. It's only like so many thousand every 6 months. So I had to take it up. See, we never think about stuff like that. And you don't know you're going to need it till you need it. I mean, I was panicking because it was on a Friday. And, the banks wasn't going to open up again till Monday. They're not open on Saturday and Sunday here. So that's the little stuff that we bypass. We ignore when we come over here because we see everybody else over here. Oh, it's so easy, which is not difficult, but just prepare, man, because expat life over here is not a theory. You got to live it over here, man, and when the rubber hits the road, you're going to know if you prepare it right. I love the chance that hopefully I won't get interrupted while watching the Super Bowl on the hamster wheel tomorrow. Yeah, see, I'm glad you brought that up because I thought the Super Bowl was on today. It's on Sunday. So I'll be able to look at it. He said, laugh out loud, no argument there, Cal. Still a few years away from a permanent move. Still not sure I won't exclusively buy in the Philippines. There's no blueprint, man. Remember, hell, if I could do it all over again, which obviously I can't. Hell, I lived 6 months here, 6 months in Thailand. 6 months here and then 2 in Thailand, 2 in Vietnam, all around. But, Philippines is the place for me, man. It just is. They make it so convenient for Westerners here. And as long as you know your place over here, man, stay in your lane, you're not going to have any problems over here. They just don't bother you. You can be speaking English in the line in the store and nobody's going to say anything to you. You speak Tagalog over there in Walmart in America and see what happens. You see the videos going around. That's ignorance right there. That's because that's Western supremacy. You've never been outside the country, so you don't appreciate being able to speak your language to one of your fellow men because you've never been anywhere. So you say, oh, you're in America, then speak American. Well, what if Filipinos told me that? Well, you're in the Philippines, speak one of our languages over here. I'd be in big trouble. I'd be in real big trouble over here because I know very little. We know very little over here. But wherever you go, Calvin Williams said, Cal, my wife is from Zamboanga City. I know you spent time there. Wife has a house there, and she would love to live there, but I'm a little nervous. Your thoughts, would you live in Zamboanga City? I've lived there, and I've never had a problem, but I'm going to tell you something. They've got a reputation. They got a history there. There was a siege in 2013, but to their credit, they haven't had any problem then. You're going to run into the same type of people in Zamboanga as you do anywhere else. But the bad guys are there, guys. You can't tell them from the good guys. In Zamboanga City, you cannot say the word Abu Sayyaf. You can't say it. That's the very first lesson I was taught when I went there. Don't ever say that word. Okay? And because they're there, they're not going to bother you. You're in the city. There's police around. Too many witnesses. You're not going to have any problems there. Now, in 2003, a U.S. serviceman was blown up. He was eating lunch or drinking coffee in one of those little outdoor cafes. and he was blown up and killed. Because there's a lot of, that's how they, handle their business down there. It's bombs and stuff, But, I haven't had any problems. Now, when I live there now, no, and not because of the rebels or anybody like that. The traffic is so bad now. They built those 2 gigantic malls in close proximity to each other, right on the main roads. I mean, when you go to the mall, if you go to the mall, let's say, in America, you gotta, it's a big ass parking lot first before you ever even get to the mall. It's way out from the street. But the malls here, they're right on the street. And in Zamboanga, KCC Mall, it's one way in, one way out. I mean, literally one way in, one way out. So with all those people that come there, and man, it's just it's terrible, man. So, that'll be the only way. Now, I visit there, but I'm not afraid because I'm more than likely going to slip in the shower and hit my head on the tub and die than something happened to me over here with one of those, terrorists or whatever it is. Hey, Almighty One said, hey, Mr. Cal in chat. What's up, brother? YouTube Experiment said this guy on YouTube would be able to learn any local PH dialect. Yeah, he's got a certain talent. He said, speak Tagalog in Walmart in my area and you blend or Spanish. Yeah, you're fortunate, man. Not where I live. I live in Louisville, Kentucky, man, and they get you. That's where that video went viral. In the Walmart there. They said, you in America, you speak American. And I'm like, wow. Really, lady, you must have never been anywhere. Okay, Mike says Super Bowl kickoff starts at 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm a big network Giants fan, New York Giants fan. And I hate the Eagles. I guess I would say go Chiefs. Yeah, I just want to see the Eagles win because, then they're going to, if what I hate is the fickleness of sports over there. It's a lot of other stuff. When you're on top, now they're talking about this, they always got to have this GOAT argument, a GOAT conversation. How in the world could you put Mahomes in the GOAT conversation? He's only been in the league a few years. And then why would you even, why can't we just say he's great? Why do we have to say somebody's the greatest of all times? That's why my mother said don't argue sports, politics, or religion. It's all opinionated. You're going to argue about it. What's up, Robert Dame? I see you on here, buddy. He says, a pen in the hand of a writer, it's like a scepter in the hand of a king. How's the book going? Any progress? Actually, it is. I'm going to show you. I got a few pages, Robert. I'm going to do a few pages every day. You were my confirmation from the universe to go ahead and finish that because I was thinking about it. I was talking to Marilyn about it, and I'll be damned if you don't send me a WhatsApp and say, hey, man, you need to do that book. You need to do it now, and blah, blah, this. He says, put me on the waiting list, signed copy, sir. I love the nitty gritty. Chief Carter Philippines says, hey, Cal, good morning from Starbucks. Powerline Mall, Makati. Oh, man. I love to go to that Starbucks in Dumaguete because you're right on the boulevard and you can sit there and drink coffee and look out on the ocean, see the waves coming in. See, that's what I came over here for. That's a real simple life, man. You buy that, for $100. I get the tall, the small one of that, either vanilla latte or the Americano. And I just sit there, man. I'm not in no hurry. You walk, you're watching the world go by. You got the ocean out there. That's the kind of life I live now. It takes a while to get there, though. I spent the millions of pesos getting to that point because I wasn't prepared. Oh, wow. YouTube Experiments said, Cal, you publish a book and I'll buy a copy. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to tie it in some kind of way with, helping people over here. So, when I do finish it, which I'm going to finish it by the end of the year, I think half of the proceeds are going to go toward helping struggling Filipinos during the pandemic. Because that's near and dear to my heart, man. I live among the locals. I always have been. And I see the day-to-day struggles, man. Hey, Evan and Gene Travel. Well, that's a lot of Genes. His wife was Bean. Oh, okay. Fresh Aloha says, Cal, what if any of the biggest difference from province Filipino women and city Filipino women? A lot of women you meet in the Philippines, they're from the province. But, I met my wife in Zamboanga. She was from the city. She wasn't from the province. So the biggest difference to me is they just love harder, man, in the province. And, believe it or not, yeah, they this is just my experience, not all now. I mean, he asked me, I'm telling you, they love harder. And, man, they fall faster. And, it's just a little bit more. I'm talking about if they live there in the province. I'm not saying if they're from the province and move to the city because that changes them. I'm saying if they live there, because most of us never really meet a woman in the province because we don't go to the province. Okay, if you're lucky enough to meet a woman online and she's still living in the province, she meets you in the airport and then takes you back there, most of the time you're going to meet them in Cebu. They already live there. My son's mother. She was from the deep province. Y'all know where she's from. But I met her in Cebu. But yeah, the difference is they love hard. I mean, they love hard. I had a Filipino from the province. The only thing that really didn't make me pursue it further, and it was before I met Marilyn, right before I met Marilyn, was her English wasn't, we couldn't really communicate. And it was just frustrating, man, And boy, when I cut it off, did she call me every name but a child of God. And I mean, we wasn't together for maybe 2 days or something. I mean, she said, I'm going to get you blacklisted. And, I did all that with you. And, and then now, this and that, I'm going to put all this on Facebook and YouTube that you using Filipinos. And, she scared me, man, because I never experienced anything like that before. And I was like, ma'am, I never even promised you anything. So, yeah, if you really can get a province lady, they're going to, but they're more traditional, guys. They're more traditional. These women now, when you meet them in the city, see, Marilyn's from the city, she's at the gym. You meet a woman from the province, man, she's going to be washing clothes out there, cooking food, and stuff like that. She don't be at the gym because there's probably no gym in the province. They live more simple. They're more simple. I love the Chan says, I got lucky, Cal. My wife was from the province and never had a boyfriend before. We've been married 21 years. We was even talking about that before at the lunch we had in Cebu on Tuesday, I think. How I had a virgin over here and it was just overrated. I don't like virgins. You got to teach them everything. And, I just don't have the patience really. And, call me shallow or whatever it is, but it's just how it is, man. It's just, it was messy. It was, I don't know. But, the good thing about it, you can say, well, she's never been with anybody before, but she's had a crush before. She may never have been with you before, but she's had a crush. Noble Hunt said, what's up, Mr. C? Macton Barber said, Calvin, I spoke a few words to an older Filipino that follows you, and all the people were shocked and asked how to say thank you, hello, and cute. Only one person, a white female, was negative. Yeah, I got some pushback. No, not me. It was Okay, you know, I follow a Facebook group. It's called Brothers and Sisters in Thailand. It's about one of my friends on here, Derek Casanaras. Luckily, they got rid of the thread, but a young guy, one of the young passport bros, you know, he made a video of him and his new girlfriend, and he was just kind of showing her off and say, hey, look, you know, look what I, you know, was able to get over here overseas, you know, trying to give some people some hope, really. And oh man, these black women on there, man, they chewed him up one side and down the other. It took everything in me not to comment, because I didn't. I said, no, it's a beautiful Facebook group, man. It helps people tremendously. And I told him, I said, man, I don't think that should be allowed on that page. You know, and it's like, oh, he's like presenting her like a Christmas, like a kid opening up a Christmas package. And, you know, you'll get stuff like that. But see, you don't get enough pushback to where he should even care about that. Do you see people saying that about you online? Yeah, but that's not going to stop you from, I guarantee you, they're still together. I seen another video about him. But, yeah, I was shocked about that. And I was like, wow, you know. But it's nobody he knows. I don't care what strangers say about me. Now, if my sister said it, it would bother me for about 15 seconds. That's about it. And then I wouldn't care about that. You know, because at the end of the day, man, you know, I'm responsible for my own happiness. But one of the questions the guy asked, he says, can I eat the ice in the restaurants? For the most part, you can. Jolly Bean, McDonald's, all these fast food restaurants over here, they disperse tons of ice every day. Now, as you go down the ladder, you may be careful at like a local place or something like that. I've never been sick over here with the ice, with anything. The water's good to drink, and not out of the tap. I've never drank water out of tap, but one time. And it didn't bother me, and I didn't know it, though. My mother-in-law down in Zamboanga, every day she would boil the water for my coffee. Well, after about a month, I'm like, well, where's she getting this water from? Right out of the tap. And boy, did I hit the roof. You know, but luckily nothing happened to me. But let's see. What's another question that was on here? You know, where is the best city for an expat? See, it's hard for me to answer questions like that. You know, but I say don't follow anybody. Just do a little research. It's not hard to do. You know, if you want to come to Dumaguete, I'm not picking on Dumaguete. Yeah, come here. And, you know, check it out. Come to San Carlos. Check it out. Cebu, Manila. Because it's all around each other. And no place in the Philippines is any more than an hour and a half by plane. Okay, but I would at least check out 3 places before I say, well, I'm going to move there. Now, Manila and Cebu, you know, in Angeles City, you probably could move them 3 places with no problem. There's enough foreigners, you know, even Dumaguete, but Dumaguete's smaller, guys. Y'all don't understand. San Carlos City is actually bigger than Dumaguete, but Dumaguete's designed different. You know, it's designed for tourists and everything like that. Whereas San Carlos City is really for somebody who's retired. So if you're not retired, don't come here. Because it's slow here. It gets really slow. But I'm retired. Every now and then I get an itch. But it's hard for me to say because I don't know what you want to do. One guy said, no, I'm going to come to San Carlos and visit. He said, but I still got a little gas in my tank, which I understand that. So he said, it'd probably be Dumaguete, Cebu, or one of those places. But see, we never talk about Iloilo City. We never talk about General Santos City. Guys, I'm going to go down there and show you. I was just in Iloilo City, and I'd be damned if I didn't get a chance, coming back from Bohol, to do a video down there. I wanted to show y'all Iloilo City. You never hear people talking about it. There's a few videos on there, but I mean like most of the big vloggers were in this Dumaguete area. Cebu, Manila. But Ilo's nice place, man. General Santos is a nice place. Davao a nice place. We don't talk enough about Davao, in my opinion. Michael McFarland says, the little town I live in has no Jollibee or McDonald's, only a 7-Eleven, and it just opened. 7-Eleven is like the hangout spot here. It's not just a convenience store, man. They go in there and, the students and people take their woman on a date there, believe it or not. He said, which is better for a simple lifestyle, Iloilo or Bacolod? I would say Iloilo because Bacolod, man, can get some shysters there in Bacolod, man. The crime is worse in Bacolod than Iloilo. The last foreigner, well, other than the guy that got killed in Valencia, but I mean just an innocent guy, which I don't know if he was innocent. I apologize for that. That made the news here. He was in Bacolod. He was in a gated community, and he was targeted. And the gang, they broke in his house. He was in secured, he had a security room in his house. He was secure in there. But for some reason, he went out and, well, they shot him. He wouldn't cooperate. They shot him in the stomach. He bled out. His wife jumped out the second floor window and got away. They didn't get a whole lot, Dave Diaz says, what happens when you get the itch? I go to Dumaguete. I go somewhere, Cebu, Bacolod, Bohol. Because with this, see, I was talking about the ferries yesterday, guys, because a lot of y'all, myself included, are not going to want to get on that plane. I keep on getting on those planes, okay? But if you get on a ferry, it makes these places very easily accessible. And I can take a ferry from here to Cebu and then take the bus to Cebu City. I go the other way and go to Bantayan Island. Or I can go down to Dumaguete, catch the ferry to Siquijor Island. I catch the ferry to Panglao Bohol. See? That's why I talked about the ferry. Real life stuff, that other stuff is really entertainment. There's nothing wrong with that. But you're not going to be prepared for the Philippines looking at videos about women all day long. Because I'm going to let you in on the inside secret. When you get here, they don't even know what to do. They don't even know where to go. They're going to be afraid to talk to the people, the taxi driver. If you got one that's not afraid, you got a good one. They're going to be afraid to ask for directions. Remember, I told you, I spoke with the engineer about my house. Marilyn wouldn't do it. She's too damn scared because he's an engineer. Okay? So that's the inside secret. When you get here, they're not going to know nothing. They're going to point you in the right direction. So if you got a woman that says, hey, because my wife was like that bad. Now, Marilyn, by her being in St. Carlos City, she knows the big people here. Okay? And that's what I like about her. But my wife, oh my God, she would make me so mad and so angry because I'd be like, look, you act like we're in America and not the Philippines. Okay? You're from this country, not me. You got to ask them. Oh, it used to drive me crazy, man. So that's why a lot of times I'm only making suggestions that you would stay wherever your girlfriend lives, really. I mean, unless it's some crazy place, or unless it's I would stay somewhere close to where she lives. Because otherwise, man, you're going to lessen her value. She's going to know what to do at home. It's going to give her a lot more confidence and everything like that. She knows the bad areas from the good areas, all of that. She can point you in the right direction. If me and Marilyn move to Cebu, Marilyn's like a diamond here. If we move to Cebu, she would be a cubic zirconium. She don't know anybody there. Okay? She'd be lost just like me. So as long as we stay here in St. Carlos City, I got a beautiful diamond, man. And that's what I want to keep. But yeah, we don't prepare enough because, everybody wants a woman, you know, and once you put that fire out, buddy, you're going to be lost over here. You're going to be like, man, I'm in the wrong place. You don't believe, well, you can't ask John, but if you go back and listen to some of the videos with John, he'll tell you. I'll listen, man. I'm an insurance agent. I listen. Here's what happened to John. He met this beautiful girl, moved down in Lady with her, right? After she put that fire out, he hurried up and got out of there. And he was only paying $37 a month for his apartment. He started getting drunk, started arguing with the barangay captains and the tanides and all that. And, they threatened his life. John had to get out of there. But that's what's going to happen to you. You dirty puppy said it's not what you know, it's who you know in good standing. Absolutely. And that's what Marilyn is good at. That's how she knew the engineer. She didn't know the engineer, but she went to City Hall because Marilyn works in and out of City Hall and said, hey, I need somebody, can somebody tell me who's a good engineer to build my house? They pointed her to him, not realizing that my house was the first house in his business. Hey, Fidencio Mendoza says, I'm saying hey from Arizona. I finally got lucky to attend one of your live chats. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Butcher says, I love how Curly didn't want to leave your side when you walked that morning blogging. Oh, man. Curly's getting to the point where he will follow me wherever I go, but you got to be careful because they'll run him over here. But yeah, he gets on my nerves. I got to throw a rock at him. He won't go back anymore. I've got to walk all the way back, lock him in the gate. Because Curly's a member of my family, man. If somebody ran him over, man, they'd have to deport me probably. Yeah, Curly. Yeah, Michael, this is a great point too. He said, ferry's a lot cheaper, plus you meet new people than on a plane. And it slows the Philippines down. Okay, it slows the Philippines way down. You can see things, you're not going to see anything but the clouds in a plane. Of course, planes are convenient. Everybody's in a hurry, but I don't have a problem with those ferries. It's a way of life over here, and that's the only reason I talked about it. But, it's not exciting. It's not going to get your attention till you get over here. Then you're going to find yourself looking for that video. You're like, man, how am I supposed to get from Escalante to Sogod City on the damn ferry? Okay? You're going to Boracay and you realize I can't fly into Boracay. You realize you're going to fly into Caticlan or Calibo. And you're going to have to catch that ferry. Most of the places. Panglao, Bohol, unless you're on the island of Bohol, you got to catch the ferry, man. Siquijor Island, ferry. The great places. Mindoro, the ferry, guys. Okay? So thank y'all so much for your super chats, your super stickers, your thumbs up. I've got to get over here, man. I really appreciate all y'all's support. I'm going to talk about Western supremacy, man, and why we don't, and why that's the reason a lot of us fail over here, or we get off to a rocky start over here. We don't respect the Philippines. We think it's too easy. We don't prepare enough. Certainly not enough when we come over here. We overlook a whole lot of stuff, man. When we get over here, number one is my bank. Does my bank even know I'm coming there? And if it does it transfer money to the Philippines? Okay, how long is it going to take? What am I going to do before I'm able to open up a bank account here? Where am I going to live? Where am I going to eat? What's the money over here? People don't know. It's a lot of stuff that we don't. How am I going to get around? Do I have to sign up for my utilities myself, or is it already included in the building, which it is. That's a good thing over here. That's why I say when you're in the Philippines, it is easier than a lot of places, but it's not easy, man. You know, this is not a theory, guys. This is the real deal. You got to live this expat life. You got to put your big boy pants on, man. You're going to have trouble over here, man. Okay? But yeah, because when you move into, except when you're like this and you build your own house, you have to get the electric cut on yourself. But any apartment you move into, condominium, the lights is already on, the water's already on. It's a smooth transition, but you didn't even know that. A lot of you don't know. That's a lot. You know, it's more that you don't know than you know. And all I'm trying to do is help create a balance there, because most of us, man, we're doing the best we can, guys. Give us some credit. Most people you talk to on these YouTube bloggers and stuff, they haven't been over here not 10 years yet. I mean, consecutively. If somebody's been over here 5 or 6 years, man, it's like, wow. If you're over here now and you see a foreigner, most of them I knew. I've been here a couple of years or something like that. We need each other, though. I guarantee you that. The meet and greet is February 25th at 4 p.m. You don't need an invitation. Just come. You know, you're going to have to come there early to get the food, because I think the food is only for 40 people, which usually is enough food. And then I'll have some beer, and if you want to bring your own drinks or something like that. But I think the next meet and greet is going to be on the line of what they do in Dumaguete. Go to a well-established establishment and just meet there, and then buy your food and drinks there, because it's expensive. It worked out really good in that Baki beach resort. Okay. I never even thought about doing it until I was looking at it last night. I was like, wow, I should have did that, but it's too late. I've already paid the money. So take care, everybody. Stay safe, stay COVID free. Go Eagles, only because share the love, man. Let Jalen Hurts win something, man, because they already talking about Mahomes is the best ever. How? He's only been in the league, 3 or 4 years? Give me a break. Take care, everybody. Oh, shoot. What am I doing?